Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I just realized that I completely forgot to asparagus these outer stages like a complete and total fool. So I welcome your ridicule. I am well deserving of your ridicule, and that was not in quadcouple mode. There we go. So go ahead and ridicule away. I completely deserve it. Now we have much better delta V. Okay. See, that was what was getting me confused before. So I did notice in our last attempt with the stock style gravity turn TM that we were not tipping, which was good. So we'll see if that is effective here. The gravity, or the reaction wheel, gravity wheel? The reaction wheel that we added down here might not hurt either. So we are running a stock style gravity turn TM. And we still need to run an atmospheric analysis down here. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to collect that experiment. And then we're going to engage the autopilot. And off we go. Now we're flying, so we could do another atmospheric analysis, which we will do. And we will collect that. Excellent. And we will once again close this service bay until we get higher. So far this is successfully not flipping us over. Good job, MechJeb. We just need to push our apoapsis up high enough, though. But this is really focusing more on the horizontal speed and less on the vertical speed. Like, it is very heavily horizontal. This is a much, much more aggressive gravity turn. Okay, so we are still flying low, but we are in a different biome. So we're going to go ahead and grab another atmospheric analysis and hope that we don't tip over here. Collect all that. There we go. So far, so good. Our apoapsis height is going up. We are through max Q. And we are accelerating very, very rapidly at this juncture. So that's great. We are starting to get some pretty hefty atmospheric effects, though. We need to push up higher. We are flying high right now, so we're going to do an atmospheric analysis. There we go. Those are photovoltaic panels. There's our experimental storage unit. Excellent. Okay. We're trying to prevent overheats right now, it looks like. Like 95% certain that's what MechJeb is doing right now. Since our speed is so high, but our altitude is so low. It'll probably throttle up in a moment once we hit like 35 or 40-ish. Or if we uncheck this. Fine-tuning intermediate altitude. Okay. I guess it's just doing this in 2 stages. That's fine too. So we are going to ditch this stage in about 10 seconds. It's just trying to hold us at 45 kilometers, looks like. Okay, I don't usually use the stock style gravity turn TM, but if it isn't causing us flipping, then that's fine. And it doesn't seem to be. We seem to be doing okay-ish. It's really feathering that throttle, though. When are you planning on burning again? Right at the apoapsis? Are you planning on crashing us? Oh. Yep, right at the apoapsis. Gotcha. And that's the goal, looks like. Very interesting. Well, we're going to go ahead and ditch those. Off they go. That'll help our thrust to weight, to be sure. We're still flying high over Kerbin's water, so we don't need an atmospheric analysis here. So that is grandiose. Wow, look at our orbital speed, considering our apoapsis height. That's kind of insane. Our apoapsis height is going to start going up pretty fast. We still want to prevent overheats. Like, this is kind of insane. We're going down right now. Like, seriously, we're going down. What are you... coasting to edge of atmosphere? That's not going to happen. Disengage autopilot. We need to be going up. Yeah, look at that. What are you doing? What are you doing, MechJeb? We're going to revert back to this launch. That did not work. I'm just going to do this manually. I'll have to do this gravity turn myself. Get out of here. We're going to go to kill rot. We're going to do an atmospheric analysis once we have this open. I've done this so many times now. Okay, we're going to collect this as soon as I can click on it. There we go. And now we're going to close this, and up we go. MechJeb, you're on kill rot. Go to surface up. What are you doing, MechJeb? There you go. Let's just go to SAS. Like, seriously. Get out of here, MechJeb. Okay, once we get to about 250 meters per second straight up, then I'll start the gravity turn very, very gently. So right about now-ish, I think. Let's start developing some horizontal velocity. We don't need a lot of it yet. Okay, let's pitch over a little bit more. Oop, that was almost too much. We're kind of losing attitude a little bit. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Let's pitch over a little bit more. We're currently flying high. So I want to open up the materials bay, or the service bay even. And if I can, why is it locked right now? Open it up. Why can't we atmospheric analysis? That's what I want to know. Oh well. It's not a huge amount of data right now. So our apoapsis is currently really, really high. Let's just coast. And we want to go to horizontal velocity up for now. There we go. So we're basically coasting to the edge of the atmosphere. And now we're in space. So now we want to just go to horizontal velocity up. And honestly, let's keep the physics warp going for now. Right about there. Okay, and let's regular warp to kill any rotation that we might have right now. Down to about a minute to apoapsis. And let's just burn this. Okay, we will ditch those stages. This burn is absolutely necessary since our time to apoapsis is still going down even though we're at full burn right now on this mainsail. That'll change. Our thrust to weight will go up and we'll get exponential gains out of this. I want to rotate this just slightly. We're at a heading of 91 degrees right now. We can try to correct that a little bit. About like this or so. Need to burn just down this way ever so slightly for a little while, like that maybe. Well, that took us back to 91 degrees, looks like. So we need to keep going this way, ever so slightly. Our time to apoapsis is still dropping. That's fine. It'll start going up quite soon. And now our heading is exactly at 90, so our inclination... I mean, it is actually still going up, but that's fine. I don't really care. This is definitely not the most efficient of ascent profiles, but at least we didn't flip. Okay. We are now officially in orbit. Okay, that's close enough to circular. Excellent. So now, we just want to burn at the apoapsis. Just get on out of the Kerbal system here. Fantastic. Right about like that. Okay. MechJeb. Execute that node. No, don't remove that node. Remove all nodes. I think I accidentally created a Hohmann transfer to something. I don't know to where. Okay, we'll just recreate this node real fast. We need to just escape on out of here. About like that. A little bit less. About like that. Execute that node. Okay, so we are going to be burning this out pretty much immediately, but that's fine. We should have enough delta V to make this work. Theoretically. I hope. I think we have enough. I hope we have enough. Okay, we'll be executing this burn momentarily. Right about now. Did I math wrong? No, I didn't math wrong. It just burned late. What'd you do that for, MechJeb? We're going to be burning out of this stage. We're going to be going into this much, much lower thrust to weight stage. I don't get it. Very confusing. Oh well. We're now at a thrust to weight ratio of 2. And we are losing attitude. Why are we losing attitude? Oh wow, look at that waggling. Okay. That's exciting. Let's just ditch this 200 meters per second then. Like that. Now we won't be waggling. Okay. So let's just go ahead and do this. Just keep on doing what we're doing. Wow. This is an intense slingshot that we've got going on here. We can maybe use that to our advantage. I mean, that's fine that we've got that there. Let's see. Something kind of along the lines of... I mean, I really don't want that slingshot to be there. So, let's just go ahead and burn where we're at right now, like right here. Just push out and break out like this. Something like that. Execute that. There we go. So that waggling will have to be noted. We'll have to put in some strut supports for that. Come on. There we go. Wow, that's a rather lengthy burn at this thrust to weight. That's exciting. Well, we have 46 minutes of fuel in the tank, so there is that. Okay, well, we are already throttled up here, so this is going to be actually closer to a 1.5 minute burn for us. And when I say throttled up, of course, I mean physics warped up. There we go. So our interplanetary movements are probably going to be a bit on the lengthy side since we're running dual nuclear engines. So there's that. Also, it's beginning to look like we're not going to land on Gilly this episode, which is a shame. I was really looking forward to doing that. But alas, that will have to wait until, for you, tomorrow, but for me, next week. Highly unfortunate. But we can get pretty close to it, at least. This burn will be wrapping up here in, what, about 30 seconds or so. That's not too bad. We are, of course, burning out a significant amount of fuel, but it's fine. I was really not expecting that to waggle that way, although I really should have been because of the way we were mixing and matching part sizes. That's always a structural weakness waiting for a place to happen. I should have anticipated that. Oh well. This burn is just about up, about another 5-ish seconds. Not too bad. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and warp on up to our Kerbal escape. There we go. Goodbye, Kerbal. You guys are going to be the first interplanetary Kerbals. How do you feel? Honored? Sure, I assume they feel honored. Okay, so as soon as we get into interplanetary space, we're going to have some sciencing to do, which means Bob is going to have some work to do. We're going to have a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I'm just going to keep warping up until we are off of this trajectory and on our outer trajectory. There we go. We're going to crew report in space high over the sun. And then I'm just going to save here really fast. We're going to do a temperature scan, atmospheric pressure scan, mystery goo observation, materials study. Excellent. And now we are going to go ahead and collect it all. And then Bob is going to hop out. And he's going to EVA report. And then what Bob is going to do while out here is A, figure out which mystery goo canister we used. Hey, the one we're in range of. Excellent. Restore that. Close the service bay. Now, can we reach this? Ooh, we can reach the Science Junior from here. Perfect. Restore that. Close it. Okay, there's our science. Next, we need to set Eve as our target. And over here at the ascending node, we are going to go ahead and add a maneuver. And we are going to match planes with Eve. There we go. That'll be about 350 meters per second. Not too bad. And we'll go ahead and execute that node. Physics warp on up. We're never going to change our science situation over the sun, so that's going to be perfectly fine. We can go ahead and warp to our heart's content. We are going to be grabbing some space science on our way through Eve, and then we're also going to be grabbing as much as we can from Gilly. But again, most of the stuff from Gilly, for sure, will be a job for another episode. For now, we're just on our way. I hope Jebediah, Valentina, and Bob get along well. They've been in this rocket for 150 days. Not much space. But they've just been sitting there grinning the whole time. I don't know, it's weird. I don't understand Kerbals. Okay, an estimated 4-minute burn here in just a couple of minutes. Specifically, right about in 30 seconds or so. I'm going to go ahead and physics warp on up to make that go a little faster. There we go. Fantastic. So I think we're going to be able to get home with this lander. I hope we're going to be able to get home with this lander. We're probably not going to match planes on the way back. We're probably just going to try to do a home-in transfer at the plane of Eve and see if we can get there. I don't know. It is only like 350 meters per second difference. So we might be able to match planes. We'll have to see how much fuel we have left and all. Of course, over the sun, we have very, very little thrust-to-weight ratio, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. We're getting there. In space, thrust-to-weight ratio doesn't really matter so much. And we are almost done with this burn. So our planes should be matched momentarily. And I am just going to be lazy and create a home and transfer to the target. There we go. Where is this maneuver at? Right here. Okay. That's a ways away. Oh wow, look at that. That's actually a decent encounter as is. It didn't put us right at the core. Cool. We'll go ahead and execute that as is. Gonna go ahead and time warp up. It's gonna take them a very, very long time to get there, and even longer to get back. So that's gonna be fun for them, I'm sure. What could go wrong having 3 Kerbals cooped up in a tiny little space for like 4 years? Absolutely nothing. I can think of nothing that could go wrong with that. Of course, our communication satellite is out here, moving very, very slowly around Eve. But that is exactly as anticipated. Don't really care what direction we're coming in at, since we're just going to go to Gilly. It'll be perfectly fine. We're going to be burning here pretty soon, right? Oh wow, another 100 days? Okay. That's going to be a while, so it's going to be another orbit. We didn't exactly launch into a good transfer window. That's okay. Well, they did stop grinning until I took a look. And then they're just like, oh, he's looking. Start grinning again. These guys are weird. I don't understand them in the slightest. So we need to watch this and see if MechJeb actually nails this or not. It's going to be huge amounts of difference for tiny amounts of delta V at this kind of distance. So we just need to make sure that MechJeb actually doesn't have us impacting Eve. As long as we have an encounter with Eve and we're not impacting Eve or Gilly, we're good. That's all we need. And this looks like a decent hyperbolic trajectory here. It actually won't be too bad to slow down. So I'm okay with that. We should probably go ahead and physics warp this burn. It's going to be a slightly lengthy burn. Estimated burn of 8 minutes. So there is that. So once we're here, then we're just going to actually orbit Eve, grab what science we can from Eve, match planes with Gilly, orbit Gilly, grab what science we can in space from Gilly, and then we're going to land on Gilly, and then we're just going to head home directly. As directly home as we can. That's the idea here. We only have 8,000 meters per second left, which doesn't feel like a lot, even though it kind of is. So we'll just see how this goes. I do think that after this burn, I'm going to put a cut in since we only have like a minute left in this episode. So we're going to create a circularization right about here. We'll need to make sure that MechJeb actually gets us here. But we'll create a circularization-ish. We don't really want to circularize, but we'll create a braking burn here at the very least. And then off to Gilly we go. Again, that will be for next episode. I'm kind of thinking next episode we'll be flying around in the Eve system and Gilly and landing on Gilly. And then the episode after that would probably be coming home, based on how long it's taking to actually get there. So that's exciting. We are currently needing about another 100 delta V, so that's just fine. Of course, our thrust to weight in this stage is substantially higher. So even though we have more fuel in this stage, our thrust to weight up here means that this actually has more delta V. So that's good. There we go. Let's see here. That's good enough. Let's go ahead and do a retrograde burn once we're here. And we want to just barely be within the atmospheric bound... Atmospheric? The gravitational bounds of Eve. There. Right about like that. So we're going to go ahead and execute that node. However, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we'll be getting these guys to the Eve system. See you all then.